quite a bit tonight. Everything felt good, body felt good. So, looking forward to hopefully running out there every 5 days for the rest of the year.
What mechanical adjustments do you feel like you had to make?
I noticed I was kind of with my leg lift when it gets out and I lean back, I refer to like as my arm almost getting stuck. So then it's almost a jump to home plate. So trying to keep shoulders level where I don't get a lean back, and trying to almost when I release the ball, almost where I feel like I could walk through the target. So worked on that in between playing catches, in this whatever 14-day period. In the rehab start, worked on it, and then went and threw some more in the bullpen after that one to continue to work on it because in the third inning in that rehab start, I felt like I started, kind of flying open again. So debated on going out for a fourth in the rehab start, but I said, hey, I want to go down there where I can actually like focus on keeping everything in line.
I know we talk about this with you most starts, but you're so good at making adjustments from at bat to at bat. And after that McMahon home run, the next at bat pitched him so differently. What did you see in his swings in that first at bat? Obviously, the result was the home run, but what made you change it up the way that you did in that second at bat?
Yeah, I felt like for him to stay on that fastball, it wasn't, I threw it more middle than I wanted, but he stayed on it and drove it the other way. I felt like seeing that he was looking for something out over the plate. So that next one, I decided to crowd him, and it worked.
Your next question comes from Justin Toscano.
Hey, Jake, that 14, 15 days since May 9th when you last started, how long did that feel for you?
Yeah, it felt like a really long time. I think that's one thing that I said I hate not going out there. For me, it feels like you're letting the team down. You want to run out there every fifth day, but once I'm pretty sure I did it on a swing in that Arizona game. Felt something, and then when I went back out for that next inning, just knew something wasn't right, and decided to be smart about it instead of push through it. It's early in the season, but like I said, that felt long, and hopefully run out there every fifth day from now on.
And so you didn't feel anything like that tonight because I saw you swinging out there.
No, I felt good.
And was the plan for you to only go 5, or what did you think the plan was going in?
We had discussed what we wanted to do, and like I said, 3. We did 3 in the rehab start. So we said 5, 75, somewhere in that ballpark. 14 days not pitching in a major league game, there's definitely a little bit more adrenaline. So tried to come up with a good plan, and we thought felt like that was the right way to do it.
Next up is Ed Coleman.
Hey, Jake, how strange was it for you? I mean, you're used to, a couple of bullpens in between every 5 days. And how weird was this, like basically 3 weeks to go through?
Yeah. The good thing was I was able to continue throwing. Like I said, and the only way I really felt it was whenever I felt like I would lean back, like leg lift was out, leaning back, and I say my arm gets stuck. It's not actually stuck, but it's not in the position I want it to be in to throw the baseball. So playing catch in between, I was able to keep throwing pretty much the whole time. I think I took like 1 day off of throwing, and then I was able to throw the 2 bullpens in Atlanta. And then, I went and made the rehab start in Jupiter, and then I was able to throw the 2 bullpens in between. So I tried to keep the schedule the same. I felt the entire time playing catch, I never really felt anything. It's just when you ramp up and you are, for me, flying open and that my arm's not where it needs to be. The bigger concern was injuring something else where it turned out to be more long-term. Wanted to play it smart and be safe with it, and this early in the season. And, like I said, hopefully be out there every fifth day now on.
And can we assume by the torque on the swings tonight that everything's okay there? And that's
yeah.
you back at all?
Yeah, everything felt good.
Thanks.
Anthony, you're up next.
Hey, Jake. I'm curious what your opinion is on that rule that got you at second base where, if you come off by a fraction of an inch on replay, you're out.
I need to stay on the bag there. I wasn't sure if I really came off, but I guess I did. I would have liked to have been out there, with the way VR swinging the bat. It would have been nice to be out there in scoring position for him, but, I popped off the bag. So I guess I just got to do a better job of staying on there.
More broadly, because we see this all the time in baseball, it happened twice in today's game. Do you think that's like if you beat the throw to the bag, should you be safe even if you come off first?
No, I don't think so. I think you have to maintain contact with it.
Next up is Mike Puma.
Hey, Jake, since the last time we talked to you, a lot has happened to this team as far as injuries. What's the challenge here, trying to keep this thing together and stay competitive?
I think everybody who's come up has done a really good job of doing everything they can do to fill in. You hate to see guys go down, and a lot of them have been strange injuries. You got KP getting hit in the face. You got Nimmo with the hand thing, JD, Pete, Fargus last night. A lot of them are just strange injuries that you hate to see happen to guys. But everybody who's come up has stepped up and done a nice job. So hopefully just continue to play baseball, and us for pitchers, our goal is to keep us in a game and give us a chance. And, these guys went out there, and Nito with the big home run there, to put us ahead, and the bullpen kept it where it was at. So that's what we got to continue to do, is just take it one pitch at a time, one out at a time, and go from there and try to be in every game and give ourselves a chance to keep winning.
Thank you.
Your final question that comes from Bruce Beck.
Jake, more fans are in the ballpark since your last start. Can you feel the energy, and can you feed off of that?
Yeah, definitely. We've said it. What were we, 20% to start? It's great having people back in the ballpark. You play this game. Like I said, the fans have always been great to me. Love playing here, love pitching here. And it's definitely fun whenever there's more people in the stands. So thank you to all those fans.
And what's your overall message here to Mets fans, just following up on many of the injuries, on how they are dealing with the adversity and what they should expect from your ball club?
Yeah, like I said, it's unfortunate with the amount of injuries that we've had. And, like I said, these guys who have come up have great attitudes and prepare like true professionals, and great guys to be around. And like I said, they're taking it one pitch at a time, and we're trying to win every baseball game we can. So we appreciate the support.
Last question from Laura.
You were talking about flying open. I was just wondering, how do you get into that pattern? How do you begin to fix it as you're trying to recover from whatever injury you're having?
I know what I need to do. I work on my delivery a lot, and where I was aggravated was not being able to fix it mid-game. In the previous ones, I had the Washington start, everything was good, and then I went to the Arizona start, and for some reason I don't know where that came from, and I was very frustrated with that. But I think it was more on a swing, and then I could feel it more whenever I could feel it when I was pitching. So that's where I was aggravated with. But just studying how it mainly comes from where I start, my leg lift and level shoulders going to the plate.
Jacob, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Miguel, thank you very much for your time tonight. Your first question comes from Steve Gelbs.
Hey, Miguel, did you have an inkling that you might be needed a little bit earlier tonight, just given deGrom's recent stint on the IL?
Y tú has oído que te han dicho que te iba a necesitar más temprano hoy.
Bueno, como te digo, ya básicamente cuando ya el juego va por el quinto inning, yo siempre me comienzo a preparar, y es algo que ya preparo mi mente y, ¿sabes? Y es algo donde yo siempre me preparo. El inning siempre donde yo, ¿sabes? Me siento bien, y y es donde siempre ayudo a mi equipo.
Well, for me, once the fifth inning rolls around, that's when I start to mentally prepare myself that I may be coming into the game at any moment. That's what I do every single game. It wasn't just specific to this day. That's how that's my mentality going into every day. I start preparing myself. I start throwing, start warming up a little bit more. So yeah, whatever I have to do to help the team out, that's what I'm going to do.
Was that about as good of a feel as you've had for your slider this year?
Y eso el mejor que tú te has sentido con el slider este año.
Sí, siempre lo he utilizado, ¿sabes? Siempre he confiado en mi picheo y aún así siempre lo voy a utilizar, ¿sabes? Yo confío en los picheos y lo puedo utilizar en cualquier conteo.
Yeah, I always feel good with it. I always have the confidence in my pitches. But yeah, I always feel like I can use my those that slider or my any of my other pitches and any count against a hitter.
Raul Ramos, your line is open.
Saludos, Miguel. ¿Cómo te sientes en estos momentos como maduración de lanzador con los Mets de Nueva York?
¿Perdón?
¿Cómo te sientes en tu madurez como lanzador en este momento comparado con otras temporadas?
Bueno, básicamente todos los años uno va adquiriendo más experiencia y uno va viendo a los más veteranos y uno va, ¿sabes? Creando una rutina y uno va, uno va haciendo más experiencia, ¿sabes? Y es algo que siempre yo he mirado a los más veteranos y siempre saco algo de eso y es lo que me ha ayudado a mí hasta donde estoy ahora.
Every year as a pitcher, I'm able to continue to grow. I'm able to continue to mature. As a pitcher, I'm able to pick little things off of the veteran players and use it to my game, and then eventually I become that veteran player, and I'm able to mature and continue to grow as a pitcher here.
¿Puedes mencionar qué lanzadores veteranos te han ayudado a mejorar como lanzador?
¿Perdón?
¿Puedes mencionar qué lanzadores veteranos te han ayudado a mejorar como lanzador?
Bueno, tuve la oportunidad, bueno, cuando estuve con los Orioles, tuve la oportunidad de trabajar con Ubaldo Jiménez. Siempre por igual él tuvo ¿sabes? Siempre me ayudó y de cómo enfrentar los bateadores, los picheos y eso. Por igual aquí siempre veo cómo picha deGrom, cómo él mueve los bateadores y los hitters y eso, y, ¿sabes? Siempre, desde lo bueno, siempre saco algo y, ¿sabes? También por igual lo utilizo.
When I was with the Orioles, I learned a lot from Ubaldo Jimenez. He spoke to me a lot about how to use my pitches and what counts, how to do that. And I also just watched him how he operated. And here I've seen how deGrom kind of maneuvers around the lineups and what he does and the specific things that he has to do. So I take these little things and I try to incorporate it into my routine and my delivery, my mechanics, and that's what I end up doing.
Miguel, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, Luis. Your first question tonight comes from Steve Gelbs.
Louis, what'd you think of Jake out there?
Well, I mean, he was outstanding, right? Again, both on the mound and also as a hitter, right, and as a base runner. I know he popped up when he got tagged on the bag there, but home to second. I mean, he did it. I mean, as quick as probably anyone can do it in the game, right? That has speed, so he was outstanding. I mean, this is who he is, just a complete baseball player. You know, not only the pitcher out there when he's flashing the unbelievable stuff, all his pitches were tremendous. I mean, he threw a changeup at 93 miles per hour and had somebody off balance out front, and touching 101. You know, the slider, just throwing it anytime he wants, and he was impressive again.
You know, you've talked as you've been dealing with these injuries about how your team may need to change your offensive approach in terms of pushing the pace a little bit and playing a little small ball. The double steal early on, VR with the steal of third a little bit later, is that, you know, part of it? Were you guys actively trying to manufacture something, especially early in the game in that first inning?
Yeah, no, any chance that we see out there, I know the guys they're gonna be aggressive, you know, and we're gonna create more opportunities to score. And then that was the one in the first innings that helped us to score first. It was Villar stealing third base and Lindor following, and then the McCann RBI ground ball came. So later he had a good jump again and he got to third, but you know, he just went past the back there, or off the back, came off. And then the other one was, you know, that was different. 0-2 count, pitch out. I mean, we are going to be aggressive. I mean, we're looking for opportunities to score runs, to create runs. We have some speed in the lineup, more than we did at the beginning of the season. So, this is our identity. We're gonna be aggressive. You know, that's what we're gonna do. And then the guys did it tonight. We got one run out of it. We could have gotten more, but you know, unfortunately, Villar in that play came off the bag there.
And I know that you have said you've liked the at-bats that Nito's been taking for a while now, but as he's gotten more regular playing time, are you seeing them get even better? Do you feel like he's getting even more comfortable in that role?
Yeah, his confidence is high. He doesn't want to do too much to probably earn the right to play the next day. I mean, I talked to him about getting more playing time last week, and he's been a little bit more calmer with his approach. And I talked to Mac too, and you know, he's been calm too. I mean, there's a plan, and that you know, he'll have less time catching, but at the same time, you know, I talked to him about the opportunity of working on his hitting with the hitting coaches, and that's also translating into the game right now. So both guys are in good places, I think. But yeah, it's good to see Nito with his approach. I mean, at some point yesterday and a little bit of today, at least the first two at bats, I saw you know, out there just free swinging, you know, and I'm glad that later on he was able to kind of like narrow more, and even though it was a 2-strike count, he was more under control, staying behind the ball. So he needs reminders, you know. He's a free swinger. He's aggressive at the plate, but he's also got to know the pitch that he can handle. And I think that's the thing that he's done for the most part of the season so far. But he needs that consistency.
Thanks.
Next up is Anthony DeComo.
Luis, just to follow up on that, you know, when Pete does come back from the IL, will you still be giving or looking to give Nito more starts relative to McCann than you were early this season?
Well, we'll see. We'll see how both of the guys are playing. Right now, both are playing really good. McCann's given us a really good first base the last couple of days, and I think, you know, even though he didn't get a hit, he got a walk over 3, but he's swung the bat well. So we'll see how both guys are playing, and we'll see what the playing time is going to be for both behind the plate. But you know, right now it's just a little too early before Pete joins us, which, you know, right now we don't know when that is. You know, we hope that is sooner than later. He is swinging with 2 hands right now, but you know, he hasn't started his progression with other things that are going to give us an idea which day he might join us. So in the meanwhile, we'll stay present with this. And you know, using this formula with Mac at first and Nito catching. Matt will get his share of games as well, catching in the next couple of days.
And also, I know you just came off the field, but what is your understanding of the severity of what happened with Noah tonight down in Florida?
So I became aware of it when right before the game started, but I had no details, so I just got the details after the game, and I was told that it was. I know it said that it's a right elbow soreness, but I was told it's more like a discomfort, so nothing that is overly concerning for the medical staff, and it's just going to get reevaluated tomorrow. We'll reassess on his status, but no one's overly concerned. I mean, it was more preventive than anything, taking him out after throwing one inning because of the discomfort he had. It just didn't feel right. And when that happens, especially in a rehab assignment, that's going so by the book. It's going on point. Everything's going on point, and you expect that there may be a a speed bump on the road there when you're in a rehab assignment like this. And I mean, this is one of them, but no one's overly concerned, which is, the good news that I got, even though he only threw an inning. So let's see what comes out of it. I know they're going to do probably further check with him in the next couple of days, but no one is highly concerned, like I said.
Hey, Coleman, you're next.
Hey, Louis. Jake had said that he believed he did, his injury because of a swing. After watching him tonight, the way he swung, the way he ran, do you have less concern that this will reoccur?
Yeah, I know. So I expected this to happen. I knew that he was going to swing. He's going to get on base probably and run around the bases. And of course, he hits a bloop hit to right, and he challenges the right fielder to leg out a double with 2 outs. Which is the right play. He just popped up back, like we said. So I'm just glad that he felt really good throughout it. And, he did what he usually does in a game, right? Hit, get some base runs, the bases, and threw the ball the way he usually throws it. But he accomplished the goal. That was our goal. I mean, it was, I know it's not revealed pregame. I think always as a competitive advantage, against the opposing team is not revealed. It's 5 innings or 75 pitches that we had as our goal, and gave us the 5 innings, and we were good with it.
And with Nido, I think he was always wondering when his next at bat was going to come before this little period here. So do you think just the knowledge that he's going to be out there pretty much every day has made him more comfortable at the plate?
Yeah, he's done a good job receiving, calling the game. Yesterday, I mean, he threw a couple of runners out, threw like 3 runners out, right? And then today he didn't get chances, but he's been catching really well. He's earned the playing time that he's gotten in the last week or so. So expect to see the same thing in the upcoming days, and also expect to see McCann at first, because he's also helped us there. He's played really good at first, and he's giving better at bats as well.
Justin Toscano, you're next.
Hey, Luis, just a couple clarifications on Noah. First, do you guys know right now how far this will set him back?
No, not right now. I mean, all I got was the detail of what happened and why the precautionary decision of not letting him go back out for a second inning he was taken, and but nothing more than that. The discomfort, I know it was said soreness on the right elbow, but it's more like a discomfort. It's more like something that didn't feel right, and the risk of probably sending back out there, with not feeling well, is just too high. So that's why we went with the shutdown. But nothing more than that right now. If we do tomorrow in the next couple of days, like we will do, but this thing has been on point, Justin. That he's done. I mean, everything by the book. He's in great physical condition, and he was doing the 4 innings. He was going to do 4 innings again there, and next step was the 5. But we'll see. We'll hold up now, and then we'll reassess on what the plan is after we find out what's going on for sure in there.
Oh, okay. So that was actually my next question, because I know he had that simulated outing before his first rehab start. So tonight was supposed to be 4 innings then, and then
Yes.
the next time 5 innings. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Veronica Contreras, you're next.
Buenas noches, Luis. Como manager, Luis, ¿te da un poco de tranquilidad cuando tienes a alguien como Jacob deGrom en la lomita para romper una racha que no venía buena en los últimos días?
Sí, bueno, hola Verónica, buenas noches. Sí, tú siempre te sientes bien cuando Jacob tiene la bola, ¿no? Tú tienes el mejor pitcher del juego en la lomita. Pero la confianza con todo aquí también es alta. Todos los días salimos y pensamos que vamos a ganar, sentimos que vamos a ganar. Pero con Jacob teniendo la pelota hoy, sabemos que primero nos sentimos bien contentos porque tenemos muchas bajas y que vengan ya uno de muchos quizás que van a unirse al grupo, eso es satisfactorio. Así que de la forma que Jake estaba tirando, yo pienso que los muchachos estaban todos en el juego desde el principio, del primer picheo del partido, que eso es grande para nosotros. Es similar a como lo que Pilar hizo cuando se presentó el próximo día luego de recibir el pelotazo. Los muchachos se sienten bien unidos cuando uno de los muchachos está allá afuera luego de tener una lesión y está compitiendo al nivel que estas personas compiten como Jacob lo hizo esta noche. Así que sí es satisfactorio tenerlo de vuelta en la rotación y yo sé que o sea, está de más decir que tener al mejor pitcher del juego en la rotación, o sea, nos da todavía más oportunidad de ganar partidos.
Háblame del trabajo que viene haciendo Nido.
Tremendo trabajo. Estoy muy, muy contento con él porque con todos los juegos que había quechado James McCann desde el principio de la temporada, los días libres lo ayudaban a recuperarse y volver a quechar más y más. Nido no tuvo muchos juegos y para tú mantenerte listo y para cuando llegue tu oportunidad, de la forma que él lo ha hecho, hay que darle mucho crédito al muchacho. O sea, él ha hecho su tarea de la misma forma que lo hace en McCown, estudiando a nuestros pitchers, también como bateador estudiando a los pitchers contrarios. Y él estaba a la velocidad, o ha estado a la velocidad que se necesita para él agarrar ahora la posición y tener más oportunidades como la ha tenido. Así que hoy nuevamente, que echando un gran trabajo, y hoy nuevamente con el bate nos ayuda a ganar un partido con el jonrón, ya lo ha hecho 2 veces.
Mike Puma, you're up.
Louis, what JD Davis is back here, I guess. What's your understanding of what's going on with him?
Yes, he's here. He got in today. So on the day off, which was yesterday, he went to take grounders, work at first base, and take some swings. And once again, he said that there's some discomfort, soreness in his hand. So he had an MRI today, and he came back with. So this is not a re-injury. He has inflammation in his joints, and what he's gonna do. And starting today, he started here. He's just getting treatment to see if we can get rid of the inflammation, and then he can feel better and start swinging again. But that's what he came out. I mean, we had to do imaging again because he gave a feedback yesterday from just swinging in practice that there was some soreness. So the imaging gave us that, and so he'll be here for the next couple of days or so, and then he'll be getting treatment, and then we'll reassess on what we're going to do with him and his rehab assignment.
Thank you.
Next up is Tim Britton.
Do you have any clarity on Fargas's status moving forward?
Yes. So he did an MRI too today, and the results came back as what we said is right AC joint sprain, and it's not going to have any activity. And the timeline I'm not right now familiar, but we right now he's just probably going to need some rest and treatment in that area. We'll see. I heard that it's not surgical as of now, so it's nothing that he's going to have a surgery. So it's something that's going to get treatment until he can get back and start swinging and doing all the baseball activity. So we'll see what the move is going to be there. But tomorrow potentially we may have a move for him since he's not going to be able to do anything for some time. So we'll reassess on what the status is going to be. But right now he's one of those guys that we probably can reassess week to week and on how he's doing. But we should have a move with it for him tomorrow.
Thanks.
Rich, because you're up.
When you took over as manager a couple of years ago, Edwin Diaz was coming off a very disappointing season, and we saw some improvement last year, but it seems to have ramped up even more this year. Is the biggest reason the late movement on his fastball? Because that looks like it's rendering him almost unhittable.
Yeah, I do want to, Edwin has worked really hard. He's worked, from mechanics to, improving his slider, improving his fastball command and fastball action, to his diet, getting a little stronger. There's a lot of things that he's done. He's worked hard so he can be pitching the way he's been pitching, not only in 21, but in 20 as well. But I think the biggest impact was caused from Jeremy Hefner and Ricky Bones too. They've been with him working very closely. They flew to Puerto Rico. They worked with him one-on-one a lot before the 2020 spring training, and I think that started things going for him. And I know Edwin's worked with a lot of people as well, but those two, Ricky Bones and Jeremy Hefner, have been key for him, just to make sure that he stays consistent and he learns what his fastball does and where does he place best. So he's been great, and I know he's had some challenges too, and I'm glad that he's staying cool when things don't go the way he plans result wise, and he comes and gets the ball the next day and he's tougher. So right now he's in a good, very, very good place command wise, and the slider and the fastball blend is really good. So kudos to the whole group, Edwin and our pitching coaches that were really close with him.
Luis, your final question tonight comes from Mike Mancuso.
Luis, on the guys that preceded Diaz, Castro, and May, can you talk about the strong performances, the strong second inning by Castro, and the way May came back from that leadoff walk?
Yes, yeah, for sure. I can talk all night about those. Castro was tremendous. He used the slider a lot more than he's been using it in the last few outings. He's been feeling his changeup a lot. I know the changeup got hit over the fence the other day, but I don't think that's going to shy him away from using it. All three pitches right now are real. I mean, he's nasty, and the velocity's there. The movement on the sinker and the movement on the slider is just it's east-west. I mean, at the nastiest. So he did it for 2 innings, and we saw some funny swings there off of his stuff. I mean, that's how nasty he is. And then May. I mean, he's just coming strong, man. He's both fastball and slider, which it's almost like a curveball, and then the changeup they're playing. Those guys have done a tremendous job to get the ball to Diaz, to get some saves for us. So they've been great. And Familia didn't pitch tonight, but he's also been part of that group too. That's put us in a chance to win games. So the bullpen, man, the bullpen's done a good job, and I'm glad they responded well, and they keep throwing strikes. I know we walked a couple of guys, but they were able to find the zone immediately.
Luis, thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thanks, Zach. Well, good night, guys.
Tomas, thank you very much for taking the time. Your first question tonight comes from Anthony Giacomo.
Hey, Tomas. Off the bat, did you think that one was gone?
I knew I hit it well. To be honest, when I looked up that little the second deck, there's a bunch of signs there, so I kind of lost it, and I figured it was over his head. I just didn't know if I had enough.
Louis was just talking about getting you more playing time and how we talked to you about that. Obviously, injuries have led to some of this, but there's an opportunity here, and every time you've had something like this, it seems like you've produced in your career. So I guess how optimistic are you that you can kind of parlay this hot stretch into more consistent time going forward?
I put in a lot of work this offseason and the offseason before, so I'm prepared for obviously whatever they throw at me, whether it's playing every day, playing part-time, whenever, it doesn't matter. I prepared to be ready no matter what. So for me, I take it one at bat at a time. It's more, I'm experiencing things as I go. And when things get out of hand, I try try to compose and go back to what like I focus on to get locked in. So I try to focus on the task at hand, and everything else will take care of itself.
Thank you.
Next up is Justin Toscano.
Hey, Tomas, how would you describe the emotions of seeing your hard work pay off with moments like tonight?
It's great, obviously, confidence-wise to see that all the work is showing. But also I can't say I'm surprised because I know the hard work I put in to take advantage of whatever opportunity I get to get out on the field. So yeah.
And confidence, when you look at yourself, maybe even 2 years ago to now, where is that confidence at?
I try to stay even keel no matter what. But to me, I decided that, no matter what, I'm going to go and have fun and give it my all out there. Obviously, I want the best for the team and I want to win. So, when I get excited and do whatever I do after I get a hit and whatnot, it's just, I'm trying to have fun and enjoy every moment, as it happens.
Thank you.
Ed Coleman, you are up.
Hey, Tomas, you've always had a good background and reputation as a defensive guy, but you always told us, too, that you were a better offensive player than what you had shown. So how rewarding is this for you right now to go through what you're going through?
Hey, Puerto Rican catchers, they hit later in their career, No, I'm kidding. But, I always knew I could hit. There was a couple things that I tweaked on my swing, obviously, and it's still a work in progress. I'm not saying I have it figured out by any means because hitting is the hardest thing in baseball. I know what I'm capable of, and I just gotta, have confidence in myself and just be ready for whatever opportunity I get.
How much more comfortable is it to you to know that, on a day-by-day basis, you'll probably be out there right now?
Like I said, if the name's on the lineup, I'm ready to go. So I'm trying to build a routine and have a consistent routine to come in every day and be ready to go.
Thanks.
Mike Fitzpatrick, you have the next question.
Hey, Tomas, you showed a lot of emotion there when after the umpires finally ruled that the ball was over the fence, kind of waving to the crowd and stuff like that. Obviously, it was a huge hit for both you and the team. Just, where did that all sort of come from? And does it have a little bit to do with, tight games like this that you guys are in with, missing a lot of guys in the lineup? One big hit can make a huge difference with Jake and your bullpen on the mound.
Absolutely. Trying to keep the guys loose and, not let tight situations like that get in our heads. And, the previous at bat, I had a plan going to the plate and I got the pitch and I, didn't put the swing that I wanted to. So I wasn't mad about the at bat, but obviously I felt like I let down the team in that situation. If it was that easy, then, a lot of people would be doing it. So, it was kind of excitement from the last at bat, being able to, let that go and lock in for the next at bat. So I was excited just overall, and obviously putting the team ahead, all that led to all the excitement, and obviously the crowd. I mean, it's awesome when in situations like that.
Thank you.
Disha, you're up.
Hey, Tomas, 5 of your last 6 RBI have given the Mets the lead. I guess, what does it do to your confidence when you keep coming up clutch in these recent situations? And is your approach different at all?
I don't think the approach changes at all. I'm still trying to get a good pitch to hit. Obviously, sometimes we prepare, we have a plan, and it doesn't go as we plan or expect. So we just have to turn the page, forget the at-bat, and focus on the next. So whenever I go up to the box, I have a plan, and obviously every single guy in that lineup and on the bench has a plan, and they're trying to execute. Nobody's going out there not trying to win or do something good for the team. So I know it's frustrating when we don't see results, but also it's why we play this game.
Thanks.
Back to you, Tim.
Hey, Tomas, how'd deGrom look to you?
The same. It's unbelievable, like a video game. The guy is unbelievable. It's a lot of fun to be back there. And to me, every time he's in the bullpen, he's throwing. He's like, "Hey, is it coming out good?" I'm like, "Dude, come on, you're the best pitcher in the world. You know that." So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Honored to be back there for him whenever my name is on the lineup when he's pitching. So I always have a lot of fun and always looking to do something special with him.
Thank you.
Your final question will be from Anthony DeComo.
Do you actually say that to him? Dude, you're the best pitcher in the world. Do you know that?
Yeah, I tell him that all the time. I mean, every time I see him or we talk about the subject, I'm like, "Dude, you're the best in the world. So you're good."
And then just from a bigger perspective, how important is it to not only get deGrom back, considering all the injuries you guys have, but to have him look, like you said, the same?
It's huge. His presence in the clubhouse and overall is big for us, having a guy like that, a leader. So it's big for our team.
Thank you.
Tomas, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Members of the media, that was tonight's last postgame guest. We will close the Citi Field press box at 12:35 a.m. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Good night.